Yeah, I know. We still got to get some intro theme music. I'm working on that.
Okay. I'm glad that you're working on it.
But thank you. Here we are on the deck. I am mikO Tolliver. I'm here with Antonio Ortiz.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are here, and it's not that hot of a day like it was yesterday.
Yes, it is very nice. I know we're here out on the deck, though. It's still pretty nice. We got the umbrella this one's from Urban Ore. We got the bench from Uhuru.
Excellent.
So we stay kind of set up here on just kind of nice sunny days out on the deck here at KPFA.
Enjoying the sun in Berkeley.
Yes, KPFA 94.1. Here we are doing the weekly recap. Thank you for joining us. We're going to tell you some just information about stuff that we did over the last week here at KPFA. Starting with the weekend was the Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. Did you celebrate Juneteenth?
I mean, I stayed black.
Okay. Excellent.
Yeah. No, but I did. I did honor Juneteenth. I actually went through the station and I got a little promo going on the radio talking about what Juneteenth is and why we're celebrating it and why it's so great. But I feel like I kind of learned that from you. And
you're going to learn it from me?
Yeah, so you should tell us more.
Let's go look it up online on Wikipedia. I can get my thing started. But for Juneteenth, I ended up celebrating by going out in the woods and being free that way.
Oh, that's
amongst
nice.
the redwoods.
Oh, that's a nice place to be free.
Yeah. So it's a federal holiday recognized this year by our President Joe Biden, and it marks the anniversary of the announcement of the General Order Number 3 by Union Army General Gordon Granger on June 19th, 1865. Proclaiming freedom of enslaved people in Texas. And that's how it got started. So, that's the little that I know. I don't know if you have more information about
No, that was really great. I think when you think about it, you had Emancipation Proclamation 1863, and then you have Juneteenth 1865, June 19, that's 2 years, 2.5 years until it was really implemented. So, it's good to celebrate and recognize it. Just because it was a declaration doesn't mean that it just freed everybody. We had to work for it. We had to really work. Freedom ain't free. I will say that. So we had to work for it.
That is true. Freedom ain't free. And for those of you who want to know more about Juneteenth, do we have any content that we can share with them that we played on KPFA?
We did, actually. It was on the front page. You just go to www.kpfa.org. And I think we still have it up there, and you can just check some of our archives of all the stuff we did over the weekend. Because we had different shows do stuff. We had Africa Today. We had Hard Knock Radio. Transitions on Traditions had a nice little jazz playlist. So people were kind of doing different things. I know that there was another something up front did things too. So it was kind of all over the place. But let's get into some of the other things that happened around the station. Antonio, tell me what happened.
So, on June 14th, which was Tuesday of last week, is that correct? Should know this by now. I should memorize all the dates when they all start.
It's okay. June 14th.
June 14th. That was a Tuesday. So on Upfront, they talked about debrief. There was a debrief of Election Day in Los Angeles, and they were joined by Melina Abdullah. And then also they did information about the Summit of the Americas. So that's what happened on June 14th.
Upfront is a really good show. It's like our most popular show, or not, if not one of the most popular shows that we have here at the station, right?
Yeah, it's one of the shows that starts at the beginning of the day. 7 to 9, Monday through Thursday, and on Friday, 7 to 8.
7 to 8, that's right.
If you haven't heard of Upfront, take a listen to them.
Okay, all right. And then in continuing on with the fact that it is Pride Month, Letters and Politics did history of the Stonewall riots, and Mitch Desrick, who is the host of Letters and Politics, had on his guest Mark Stein, who is the Jamie and Phyllis Pasker Professor of History at San Francisco State University, and he's author of several books. But they were on talking about this documentary history of the Stonewall riots, which again is perfect timing for right now because we are in June. It is in Pride Month, right?
Yep.
I'm coming out. I want the world to if I do just that, is that okay, or do we have to like check into licensing fees if that's allowed to be online? Are they gonna like flag us for like copyright? She sang it.
They'll probably have to flag us.
I don't think so. I feel like that's an additional rendition. I think it could be like 15 seconds or less. So that was us.
Yeah,
and we were trying to be prideful, so.
But maybe we'll come up with our own songs.
All right, other shows around here on the station. And just want to remind you guys that if we mention some show that you like, all of these episodes, if you look into the text that's on the post there of where you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, you will see we put the link to that particular episode. So you can go directly there and say, hey, oh yeah, let me click that. Go directly to the thing and listen to it. And then you get, we tell you about it, you go listen to it. Also, I want to let people know that if you're watching or anything, feel free to chime in on the chat. We are responding. We're responding in a lot of time.
Yes.
And we will mention you because we want to make sure this is for the KPFA community. All right.
Yes. Also, we want to let people know that the shows that we're promoting here are shows that have information on the website that you can go tune into to see what is going on, what's the content of it, and has audio.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah, okay. All right. Antonio, tell us what's next. What else happened around the station?
Well, a lot of things happened on June 14th. Another thing that happened was that on Chris Welch's show, The Talkies, they presented a storytelling for social change, Right to Choose. And that was with Joyful Raven and Laura Privis. And they talked about real stories on abortion. So that happened on June 14th.
Okay. Yeah, seems like we had a big June 14th, a big Tuesday.
Yeah, and we have another thing on June 14th. Oh, the Talkies, if you want to hear the Talkies, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 11 o'clock on 94.1 FM. Or you can listen to it online.
Okay, all right. Next, we've got Flashpoints did something really good, and that is with Dennis Bernstein. That is your host there. Now, I know that Flashpoints is weekdays at 5 p.m., right? And this time they did a special report on Myanmar, where the military has sentenced 2 prominent pro-democracy activists to death. Oh, that's a downer. Yeah, you got to check that out. You know, I love that KPFA has all these like just kind of crazy news stories that probably aren't as big someplace else. So
no, but they're important to cover because you know that it does affect people. It's things that are happening outside of the United States and also within the United States that people should be aware of.
Yeah, so I want to make sure that everybody's getting a chance to hear about them. So if you're tuning in, again, you can also chat with us live. We will respond in live time, but telling you about the great shows that are happening here. And another, back to again, up front. They always have something. What's going on now up front?
So on the 15th, they had a segment about federal interest rates set to change. And so it's likely that the feds will raise interest rates by 0.75 of a percentage point, which is the most severe hike since 1994. And this has wide-ranging ramifications. So they discussed the economy and how the interest rate hike will impact everyday people such as ourselves. Their guest was Doug Henwood, who does a show on KPFA called Behind the News, which airs on Thursdays at noon. So if you want to find out more about Doug Henwood and his show, check out Behind the News on Thursdays at noon. Or for the segment about the federal interest rate sets to change segment on Upfront, go to Upfront's page on KPFA and check out their episode for the 15th, which was on Wednesday.
Good. Nice. And then I think we also want to remind everybody that we're doing, we're covering still the January 6th insurrection hearings, right? And so we're doing like a bunch of special broadcasts throughout the week. So you've probably heard some last week. I think there was like 2 last week, and there was like probably 2 this week, I think. But in addition to that, we're definitely trying to do like analysis here at the station, because I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes I hear some of those stuff they say in those courtrooms, and I'm like, what does that mean exactly? Or who is this guy? Why is he so important? And so we were definitely explaining that. And the great, amazing Mitch Jeserich of Letters and Politics is explaining some of that stuff, the politics and process of the January 6th investigation. And I know he's had some really good guests on too, like Stephen S. Smith, who is the Kate M. Gregg Distinguished Professor of Social Science and Director of the Wiedenbaum Center at Washington University in St. Louis. All right, so that's hearing analysis with that guy along with Mitch. And then again, when's our next hearing analysis? I think that's coming.
Well, the next scheduled hearing date is supposed to be tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific time, our time. and that's scheduled. So who knows? It may change, but we are planning on having a show that day to cover the hearing. And then at the end of the hearing, Mitch and his producer, Deanna and Chris Lee and Max Pringle will have guests on to provide some information, insight on what had happened during the hearing.
Okay, great.
Okay.
All right. And then I think from there we've got, again, up front. Now, I know that you just explained how Juneteenth became a national holiday, but we only got a quick little minute here on the deck as we're doing our weekly recap. And again, if there's any of these shows or episodes that we mentioned that you like and you're like, where exactly do we find them? Go ahead and look into the text that's in the post there. And I put the links so you can copy those links. Hopefully maybe click them in some cases. If not, always go to kpfa.org and you can find everything there. Now, up front, they did a more in-depth analysis.
Yes. And that's where we're going to direct you, because if you want to get more in-depth information about this, probably better to go to our shows that have the content and the expert.
Right, and that one of this was how Juneteenth became a national holiday. Dr. Gregory Carr. Now, that's right. This show they have Dr. Gregory Carr, who is an associate professor of Africana Studies and chair of the Department of Afro-American Studies at Howard University, and he joined with Brian Edwards Teegert and Kat Brooks to explain how Juneteenth exactly became a holiday. Because when was the last time that we had a new federal holiday? Do you remember?
Not that I can remember this one.
I think it's the early 80s. I think it's Martin Luther King. Right? That's the last one. What else is in there? I don't know. Yeah.
Well.
So now we got a new one. It's a new day off.
And we want more. No, okay. We want more.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Actually, I went through and I looked at all the federal holidays, and we have one for, I think, 9 months. There's one for 9 months. There's, what is it? Just I think it's March and April. There's no official federal holiday. And then it's August. So we get President's Day in February, and then we just kind of got to go every day hard, every day, 5 days a week, until you get to Memorial Day, which is at the end of May. And then you get one. You get kind of back to back, because now we get Juneteenth, and then we're going to get 4th of July.
We should form a campaign to get at least one federal holiday every month.
Well, I guess it kind of pans out, because they're technically, if you count January has 2, we've got MLK Day, but we also have got New Year's. You mean something in April, often people do spring break, so I don't know, it works out. But now we got Juneteenth. I'm super excited about that. And we also have It's Going Down. Antonio, tell us about It's Going Down. What do they do?
Well, It's Going Down plays on Fridays at 12 in the afternoon. And on June 17th, they did a show, Lessons from Clinic Defense in the 1990s. So it's abortion rights activist Susie Subways and historian Spencer Beswick discuss how anarchist formations in the 1990s helped defend abortion clinics from the rise of far-right anti-abortion groups. So that's the content that they had on Friday, June 17th. So if you want to find out more about that, check it out on It's Going Down on KPFA's website.
Fridays, It's Going Down. All right, and then I think our last show we got to mention here is Against the Grain, and they also did something really, really nice here. Now, they talked about unmitigated power of big tech and the outsized impact on the global economy and on our daily lives from the biggest companies in the world, being Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, and Amazon, which 3 of we're using right at this exact moment.
Yeah.
So you're right. That's over half of the list that I just mentioned there. So check that out on Against the Grain. Now, when's Against the Grain? That is Monday through Thursday?
Monday through Wednesday.
Wednesday. My bad.
From 12 to 1.
12 to
Let's
1.
double check that, because if I'm saying it wrong, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
I should know this.
That's why he's here. I want to introduce you to my attorney.
Yes.
At least here at KPFA when we're on the deck, and I'm thinking, oh, what is that exactly?
Phew, I was right.
Yeah,
12
we
to
were right,
1,
though. We were right.
Monday through Wednesday. So, yes, unmitigated power of big tech companies. Wouldn't it be amazing if there was unmitigated power of listener-sponsored radio? Maybe not.
No, I think it'd be great. But one way. Last thing. We do have a live Zoom event to talk about. Now today is the 22nd, so tomorrow on Thursday we got a live Zoom event June 23rd, Bad Guys, a Homosexual
Bad
History.
gays, not guys.
I gotta work on that vision. Bad gays. Bad gays. A homosexual history. And that's a Zoom event that is going to be, I think, we have it's live on Zoom, so we have the link that is in the text of the post. So if you want to check that out,
Yes.
come into one of our events for this June. Bad gays.
Bad gays.
And I think that's just in time for Pride, right?
For Pride, yes. So what you could do is, if you want to check it out, it is online. Just go to kpfa.org under events. Check out the Zoom section within our events section, and there should be a link there to buy tickets on Eventbrite. If there is no link, then it means we sold out. But we don't sell out on Zoom events, so
Everybody can come.
Yes.
Nice. All right. Sweet.
so celebrate.
Nice.
Checking it out.
Celebrate good times. Come on. See, that's another song for Pride Month, right? It's another Pride song.
There we go.
All right. All right. And we want to highlight a donor, Bruce Hyman from Los Gatos, California. Thank you, Bruce, for donating to the station.
Thank you for supporting us.
Yes, we need all your help. Yes. And then I want to tell everybody else other ways you can. Everybody else, you can donate at kpfa.org, but you can also support us by following us on social media. That's Facebook at KPFA 94.1, or Instagram, Twitter, and Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at KPFA Radio.
Yes.
Yeah. Follow us, like our posts, share our posts, comment on our posts, and we will comment back. And then also remember, when we get some good questions here in the live chat, we try to comment back on them. But other than that, once again, I am mikO Tolliver, and I am here with
Antonio Ortiz.
Antonia.
Yes. One last thing to say is that on our website, we have a lot of content that's already there. So another way for us to grow is to spread our wings and fly to people who have not heard about us. So just like what mikO said about liking us and following us on social media, if you have any shows that you're really interested in, that you've got a lot of good information from, that you think that your community, your friends, your family would enjoy listening to, feel free to share with them the link to that audio so they can also learn about that subject matter that was showcased on KPFA.
Perfect. All right. And then you can check that out by going kpfa.org, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And tune in to the radio, KPFA Radio at 94.1 FM. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week on the deck with more announcements.
Happy